when I'm not live yet, not understanding that this will just be on stream. Because my brain does not compute that way. So what is happening? What is happening with this Iron Front? What happened here?
Well,
You in on the Meghan Markle Prince Harry thing?
it's just the ultimate result of simping. Prince Harry lost everything, and now he
man,
has
he's
nothing.
lost his claim to throne as
I
well.
mean, aside from being insanely rich, you know.
You want to know?
He's lost everything except for his giant home.
Right. You know what's funny?
Wait, I thought he was broke.
Because he's like rescinded his claim to the throne. There's actually the Holozorns are actually more in line to the claim, which is the old German dynasty. I was looking at it. Apparently, the head of the Holozorns is like 170th in line to the throne, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that is probably true.
Make Germany
what the
great
fuck
again.
Are you talking about, Brady?
Marcus shit.
You know, like Wilhelm's dynasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, the
170th in line to the English throne.
I was not even aware that Wilhelm's dynasty still existed. I knew they went into exile into
They
the
still
Netherlands
own
when
like
the
the
fucking...
castles and shit.
They do?
Yeah, I was looking it up because I play EU4 and I was like, so they split the dynasty to stop a infighting years ago, and I was like looking up where it is now, and they still technically they completely exist and control some of the capital.
Yeah, like I know like royal families still exist in like Germany, Austria.
I mean, there's like people of nobility, but
yeah,
I mean
there's
they're
not like
no. Listen, there is someone who has a noble title that lives in my apartment building, and this is not an apartment building for people with wealth. Also, why is Sandro spurging out about Bionicles again? What's happening?
Bionicles are cool, my man.
Oh yeah, okay, Sandro, Bionicle. There you go. That's for you, man.
No, you have to say at least once, or else you can't come.
Okay, so I wanted to mention this, even though I know most people don't care about, at least here, as far as I know, most people don't care about fighting games. But I just want to mention how this is just kind of funny to me. How Smash Brothers was removed from EVO. EVO's like the big fighting game tournaments, and it was removed from EVO. And now that they're doing the tournament online, they announced the games that they're going to be using, and one of the games is them's Fighting Herds, and it literally started out as a Milo Pony fan game, and now it's become like an official like competitive fighting game.
Why they removed Smash Bros?
Because EVO does things like that because of reasons. Probably because Smash Brother fans are cancer.
I feel like the point...
I mean, they are cancer, but it's because the people who play it are usually casual, but then the people who like really play it are like super
anything can be meta.
Isn't it just objectively better to just spam the same attack over and over in these fighting games? And I mean, wouldn't that just be what they do in the professional fighting scene? Because let's be honest, I know they get so fucking mad. That's what I always do when I play against someone who's like trying too hard. It's like, no, I'm picking
I've watched
E-Honda
my boy Hungry Box, and I've now got a lot more respect for Jigglypuff.
What is this?
Bruh, dude, you could just if Pacquiao had just punched over and over and over again in the same spot, he would have won that fight.
Yeah, but
just
no,
keep punching.
The just this whole announcement, I just really like it because it's like, I mean, the game is called Them's Fighting Herds, and it started off as a Milo Pony fan game, fighting fan game,
and
then
so
they got C&D. Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
no, go on. I'm just trying to interrupt you constantly because I am mean.
You are mean. Anyway, they got C&D'd by Hasbro, so they had to stop making it. And then the creator of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, the one, Lauren Faust, she came in and it's like, hey, let me just make a bunch of characters for you guys so you can keep working on this. And she did that. And then Skullgirls devs, who Skullgirls is another game, another fighting game. They were like, hey, we'll give you our game engine so you can make a really awesome fighting game. And then they had a Kickstarter that was super successful. And now the game is officially out, and Evo's just like, oh, hey, this is going to be one of our main, competitive games in our tournaments. I'm just like, holy shit, that's a fucking ride to take. From being just like a fan game for a kid's cartoon to just being like a definitive fighting game.
This story is simultaneously insane and wholesome, and I kind of like that.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, they got slapped down by Hasbro because, you made a fighting game, and you made a fan game, and that's what, they pulled a Nintendo, and then they just got all this love and support from, like, all sides. And the game is actually good. It's one of the easier.
But they kicked out Smash, though. Come on. Does that not ruin your cred?
Which Smash?
I mean, I don't play a lot of Smash.
Or Melee, because Melee is the one that everyone bitches about.
Melee is the one that I played like crazy on my GameCube when I was a kid.
I had a GameCube. I had a Game Boy Color and a PlayStation 1, which was better anyway.
I'm sorry, what? GameCube is so much better than all the other game consoles?
No. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 had Ratchet & Clank, which is so much fun.
We'll have to politely agree to disagree on that one.
I mean, by all means, because I am now part of the PC Master Race.
Yeah, obviously. This all divisions are no longer important. We're done. It's.
Is this where Brady's got Flante as video cards?
Eat my dick, Cito. I crushed you at Folding.
I crushed him too.
Just upgrading your PC just so you could get more internet points. Some fucking third-rate YouTuber's fucking Discord server, dude.
Well, I already had the thing. It was more of whether I could be asked to actually do the folding shit. And I just, when someone mentioned it doesn't drain internet, I was like, oh, okay.
I do appreciate that Cito's organizing that league, though. I gotta say that.
I'll be first place in 2 days. It would be one, but I'm not at work.
Sorry, what league's going on?
It's the Folding at Home League. We do the protein folding thing. That's why my PC. That's why I'm always like on Discord, and this is on red because my PC is just running 24/7 folding proteins. Mainly.
I don't know what you're talking about. Folding proteins.
Okay, so there's a Are you familiar with SETI at Home?
Oh, you're like donating processing.
Yes, exactly. It's like I'm donating processing power to solve protein solving problems. I mean, my computer does it. I just sit there and feel like I'm contributing for medical research.
I actually turn everything else off, so it's only focusing on folding when I go to work.
You just completely stopped having fun. Just no more video games. Just sitting in front of the computer. I will beat Sita!
No, originally that was the idea, but then I like beat him in like 1 hour.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
So, and then when I sort of realized just how fast I was going up it, I was going, I could take first, which I almost am.
Congratulations, by the way.
Nice. Thanks. It's more of the fact that I managed to get a 1080 when they were like dropping in price slightly, but weren't completely canned.
To be fair, at-home distributed computing is one of the better, more productive forms of slacktivism, I think.
That is true, yeah. I mean, because you are not doing something, but at least you're paying for the electricity. So this is something that happened today, right? I was doing I was working for Big Strawberry, right? Selling strawberries. And I was thinking about war crimes, as I so often do. And how about this, right? You know these like weird anti-drug PSAs from the 80s, right? With Mr. T and shit. You have that, but it's anti-war crime PSAs.
this is your brain. This is your
Yes.
brain on Zyklon B. Any
Yeah,
question?
I had this video of fucking Huey Herbert going, "This is Zyklon B." Don't do it, or else.
Ow!
They're like, this is
Fucking
white
Congo.
phosphorus. This is white phosphorus on a
That
person."
one's even better, dude. This
Yeah.
is white phosphorus.
Hey kids, you guys want to go ethnically cleanse some places?
That's Condor. Both it's me, not the hurricane.
No. Like some kids are like walking out of arcade. There's a dude, sleazy dude in the alleyway. He's like, hey kids. You ever heard of something called balkanization?
No, fuck.
Jesus.
And he opens up his code and it's just a map of Yugoslavia.
Just the individual pieces of it. And he just breaks pieces off. And if you want the whole thing, you have to come back to him, but it gets more expensive. No, but if you think about it, right, genocide has no strategic value. Which is
I'd debate that point.
No, look.
If it's genocide by artillery because they're in a castle and they won't get out.
That's not what
genocide
genocide
at that point
is. That's not what
Yeah.
genocide is.
I
There
mean,
is,
look, okay,
and this
let
is
me use a better
gonna be
example.
this
If you
is
have
gonna be
rebel
just a high
stronghold
tier
on
fucking.
Alderaan and you blow Alderaan up because of that, it's perfectly justifiable.
When
Every
they
other
blew up
planet
Alderaan, that
breaking
was
away.
dumb. You don't blow up one of your main economic hubs. You just don't do it.
They were funding terrorists.
What? Who cares? Who the fuck cares?
We're getting into that part.
That
of
was
the
America. It
question.
doesn't mean we don't fucking
There were
nuke New
weapons
York
of
City.
mass destruction. Okay.
Exactly. Don't fucking nuke New York City.
Actually, I really want to know what the effect of nuking New York would be, because all these tests they've done are on like shanty towns or Japan, which was like mostly paper mache.
That wasn't a test. That was neither.
That
of
was not a
those,
test.
bro.
It was
Yeah,
I don't-
the
you
world
don't-
was a
You
test.
don't
mean,
just murder someone and go, no, I was just testing if I put the
No,
knife in
no,
his
you
heart, he
murder
would
them
die.
As a test.
It's
No,
just
you murder them
checking.
as a test, and then you go, oh, it was to make them surrender.
No, but Berger, I would argue that there are acts of genocide in which acts that lead to genocide that are strategic. For example, Saudi's blockades of like healthcare and food out of like Yemen. That definitely is an act of genocide and also
Yeah.
is strategically valuable.
But it is strategically
you know
valuable
what
for
else?
economic
Fuck,
reasons.
shouldn't
Right. You know what?
So you
was
can-
genuine
you can have
genocide
geno-
and
you-
strategically valuable doing this. Nice to meet you, native.
That's not also genocide implies intent. Like if to qualify for the war crime of genocide, it needs to be the intent needs to be there to do
Oh,
it.
I don't think
Yeah,
definitely
I
intend
think-
to
oh,
murder
I
those
think- well,
people,
I
so I think
But
there's
what I'm
intent
trying
there.
to say
10-year-old.
before, I was so rudely interrupted, is essentially, yeah, you can have strategic genocides, but those are usually justified for by economics, by which I mean justified by ideology, which is
Well, I
the
mean-
situation
well, I mean-
in Saudi Arabia.
Well, I mean, smallpox
Sure.
blankets made it a lot easier to like settle where I live now.
That's true, but you have to prove intent, which is not something that
I
we can do
I think
historically.
we get down there
intentionally-
eventually.
I think intentionally giving a group of people like dirty,
Right,
infected blankets
can
that you know will make them sick.
Can I
is
point out?
intent.
Can I try and prove that it was intentional? Because like, let's go back a few years where the Great Khan launched infected bodies into encampments to purposely infect them all. That means people knew that this sort of shit was bad.
No, but this
and then
is historically disputed whether that actually happened. Okay? There's like people said this, but the sources that attribute this to Temujin actually
I mean, you don't
are
listen to the
not primary
losers.
sources. And there's a lot of it.
Yeah, we call Temujin a great strategic leader now, but like back in like the 13th century, I think
He was
people
just-
called him a warmonger.
He was just out there fucking. That was literally all he
Everyone
did.
was a
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure we still call him a warmonger. Like I don't think anyone ever stopped calling Genghis
Everyone.
Khan a warmonger.
Yeah.
Everyone
I mean,
was
I'm
fucking
pretty sure it has
warmonger
the
in that
highest
era.
warmonger rating on Civ.
Well, it's like if you like
No,
go and
that's
you
Gandhi.
read about like what the Assyrians did.
Gandhi
you
at
like
the
read about what
nukes.
the Assyrians did. They were worse than the fucking Nazis, but I don't see many historians calling them, the ancient Nazis or ancient fascists.
It's about the freshness of the wound, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Did the Assyrians attempt to like genocide an entire people through like industrialized like mass killing in order
It
to
was
invade
close
literally
enough.
the entire world?
I mean, it wasn't literally industrialized. but
Maybe it was like on the
was
local scale, it was like
the
that.
Great
But I mean,
Khan
the
would
scale
kill-
at which the Nazis achieved their mass murder was definitely more than the Assyrians ever could have
No,
dreamed of.
that's because of the industrialization.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
point.
see,
No,
adding-
you
you're adding a word
you
to
can't
it.
go. Well, it's more like drop. By that logic, simply dropping glorious capitalism on the world makes America the single most murderous thing in the world.
I mean,
America
because
didn't invent capitalism.
also that, yeah.
I mean, okay, the Scots are the most dangerous people. This is why we need to control them.
Jews are the most dangerous people because they thought of nuclear weapons.
Jesus.
And we're back to the Nazis.
Jesus,
we've
we are
done
coming
full loop.
full circle on this
Jews are the
one.
most
What? I'm part Jewish. It's
events
fine.
for many,
I'm pretty sure
many
the atomic bomb was
Speak-
made
by
by
the
a
way-
multi.
No, I'm
A
allowed to make this
multi-religious
joke.
group,
I
wasn't
have
it?
an oven.
Speaking of Jews, right? I recently put the Israeli roundels on my aircraft, and all of a sudden, the in-game flak seems to really want me dead. I mean, I know it's a
Oh,
Russian
yeah.
game, but
Wow, a Russian game made by Russian developers has a thing against Jews. Color me surprised.
I mean, I'm in a Japanese aircraft controlled by the Chinese with Israeli roundels on, and all of a sudden,
Hang on, Brady. I got a meme pic just for you.
I love how the
Just-
first thing
just
we
because-
did here was talk about just the most horrible shit. I was just trying to do a joke about genocide, okay? And then suddenly we start talking about whether or not the Assyrians or the Nazis were worse, morally speaking.
What the Assyrians do? I don't know much about the Assyrians.
They were an ancient. They were like.
Yeah, but who did they try and ethnically cleanse?
What was it, like Babylon, the Persians at some point?
Just everyone. Frankly,
yeah,
They
everyone.
basically-
occupied them or ethnically cleanse the people from there?
Well, instead of like going in and conquering and just replacing the leadership, they would just kill everyone. They were the first ones to do the Mountains of Skulls thing, and the thing that made them like particularly, in my mind, kind of evil is they bragged about it on the, they would
Which-
brag.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to admit that is
The
kind of
Assyrian
meta.
Empire practiced ethnic cleansing when it forced millions of people in conquered lands to resettle between 9th and 7th century BC. Groups such as the Babylonians, Greeks, and Romans continued this practice, though not always on such a large scale. Yeah, so... Yes, fuck
Yeah.
Assyria then.
where was
Fuck
that
Sargon of
video?
Akkad.
More like grip on reality gun of a card. Am I right?
God,
I made that joke on Twitter recently again, and it landed. What is this, Pure Stress? Also, speak. I read you have a mic. Say mouth words.
Oh.
Your mic doesn't work
Have
properly.
I arrived?
Okay, now it does.
Hi.
Put more research in the mic.
Well, just-
Rest in peace to Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, you
you're
sound
having
like
some
a-
problems, man. I'm not sure if it's your internet or the mic itself. It might be both.
You sound.
Hold on
I'm gonna
a
say it's the mic.
But you do sound like a robot.
You sound like you're talking to us on PS3.
Shit, there was a video that I found hilarious, and I can't find it now.
That's always sad.
So sad.
I know
That
what I
Steve
put
Jobs
down,
died of
though.
Ligma.
Just tell
No.
us about it instead.
No. No.
More.
No.
More
No, we
fart.
will no. Get your fetish Twitter shit off this stream, my man. Danny, delete her
fart.
that shit.
That was from Struggle Tweets.
I know
That's my
that's
new
from
favorite
Struggle
cat.
tweets,
Found
but
it.
like,
Yeah, I think that might not be
Jesus.
okay for YouTube.
I found it.
I mean, I don't give a shit. If this channel gets banned, I'll just make a new one. What the fuck is YouTube gonna do? Destroy my entire life? Actually, yeah, don't do that.
They might.
I'm a big fan of struggle tweets, though. That is one of the best accounts.
That vid is
it's
funny
great.
as fuck.
Is this video good for YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put this. Oh, this is loud.
Yeah, it is loud. I'm watching it now, so make sure there's no more like body parts flying.
Okay. Let me try something.
He's doing a combat turn.
It's
I
a
can't hear
bomb, you
anything.
imbecile!
Yes, technically a fetish and a kink are two separate things, but the terms are used interchangeably.
Also, Saucer, I like your new username.
Thank you.
It's parts are falling
It was
out.
inspired by
It's
2008
the
Xbox
volume
Live.
in this
Yeah, I miss montage parodies, man. I remember just laughing so hard that I was hyperventilating in front of my computer screen, seeing like Doritos fly across the
Oh
screen.
my god, and in background I just have fucking like
that was some good
retro
stuff.
remix of the coffin dance. Sounds good enough for that meme.
I kind of missed that meme. I've been aware of it and of the music, but I don't get the context.
It's
I
just
was
a
too
video
busy
of
being
them
cool.
with coffins.
No, God, this is even worse. Bring back the fart porn, please. This
Honestly,
is
there is nothing
objectively
wrong with that.
worse.
This is That's just hard. That's just hard boiled it.
But
See, I was thinking,
Why?
Like, you just slice it up and put it out. You just take the slices and put it on.
Why
a
not?
sandwich
Yeah,
and
you
bake
would
it.
just slice it up, and then it's like little individual like
to
hard
be
slices.
to be-
yes, why would
totally
you ever
honest.
want to eat egg? Egg is
I don't- I-
disgusting.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Egg is
yeah,
tasty.
yeah, I forgot.
Sorry,
I
I
forgot.
understand. You're
Yeah,
actually wrong about eggs, though.
Yeah,
Eggs are amazing. They're great for you.
how-
They're
Omelets are the
fantastic.
best.
Egg and soldiers. You don't know what you're missing out on.
What?
Right, it's
It's,
probably called something
it's
else in the
just
States.
everyone is wrong about
Basically,
eggs.
Boiled
Thank you,
egg,
Rick.
where it's still like
Your
yolky
mom's
in the
wrong
middle,
about
right?
eggs.
I actually do not know my mother's specific opinion on eggs, and I won't
and
ask.
You get toast, and then you dunk the toast in the middle.
Oh, that sounds good.
yeah, that does.
But
sound
it's
pretty
still
good.
egg. Why don't you do that with literally anything else?
Because eggs are great.
Because
are good.
Syrup is
They're
good.
delicious.
Yeah.
They're tasty. They're nice. They have
Eggs are
nice
great,
texture
though.
to them.
What about Balut?
Especially when you get the white part solid and you got the gooey yolk.
They're,
Yeah, you
they're
put
good
that.
source of healthy fats.
Also, just the word egg has reminded me of something.
What if it's the
Also-
ones that still
also
have
my-
the bird in it?
No, that's going too far. That's like if you have like a pregnancy fetish and then you just like, well, what if she's giving birth?
I'm sorry, I missed one sentence, and this is where we're suddenly at. Just one sentence, I was zoned out, and now it's pregnancy fetish. What the fuck?
Yep.
I'm sorry, there's
Oh,
a context somewhat missing there. What if she's pregnant and she gives birth? It's like, I'm sorry, what?
Well,
What?
If
he
she's
said-
pregnant,
he
she gives
said-
birth.
I prefer
no,
when they're
you-
pregnant
This,
and don't
this,
give
this
birth.
sounds like people die if they are killed.
No, what
you
I
can
was
do it
saying, what
again.
you had to do. Fuck,
I'd,
I just broke myself.
A friend of mine one time said that nobody's died and lived to tell about it.
That's true. Also, my beer is already empty, and I'm very disappointed.
Actually, people have
Oof.
died and lived to tell about it.
I have two
How
more Coronas
defibrillators
in my
work.
fridge. Should I get my? I'm gonna get a Corona, and I fucking just if I get back here and you people are talking about anything weird, I will be very proud.
If you give birth, it means you were pregnant.
Hey, so I decided to give this vagina thing a try. Anybody know where I can find some?
Your red light district, I guess. A bar,
A
wherever women
bar.
congregate. Really,
I'm sorry, congregation
So-
is illegal right now.
that's true. Yeah.
So, Aldi?
You know, I had a thought today.
I
of,
saw a
like, you know,
woman at Aldi.
Farmers markets. Go to farmers markets. There's plenty of pussy at the farmers market. That's some high
This is
quality
exactly
pussy,
the
too.
kind of conversation I expected to go back.
Well, I
to.
mean, if we're talking about pussy, I might as well go to the humane shelter.
Holy shit, I stopped pouring for that one. Jesus Christ, man.
Deploy
I think,
picture.
I think he's trying to make
picture.
a cat joke, but I think he accidentally just said, "Oh man, I would love to have sex with some battered."
Jesus fuck. What is this? What is
I don't
this?
know. I just had it got awkward. I had to deploy a picture to make it less awkward.
Gif. What?
1 cup of water, extra whip.
What the fuck is going on? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
I guarantee you what happened is someone's like, "Yo, can I get some whipped cream?" And they're like, "Nah, man, you gotta get a drink with it." It's like, "Come on, do I have to really get a drink with it?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude." He's like, "Fine, I'll take 1 water."
Oh
with
my
whipped
god, this hasn't happened to me in several streams.
This
Deja
reminds me
vu?
of this reminds me of the Domino's order that was like plain left meatballs or something. Plain left sausage.
Plain left beef.
Oh, plain left beef. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the left beef.
You know, I was thinking they always, talk about the heroes of women's suffrage and getting their vote and getting the right to vote and stuff. But nobody ever talks about the men heroes that gave them the right to vote.
You would think that after years of alcohol abuse, I would have down the science of pouring myself a beer.
Nope.
But alas, this is not so.
You've just poured.
As I'm kind of, because I just had like a good Irish beer. I recently found out that it's actually pronounced Kilkenny. You know how sometimes you pronounce something wrong for years, and then somebody pronounces it correctly, and then you pretend to just have been saying that all along? That is my story with Kilkenny, which was my favorite beer way before I knew how to properly pronounce it. So thank you, person who taught me that. I don't think you even know that you did, but you did.
I'm gonna make this stream dark. Apparently, the Chinese are hacking firms that are trying to research a cure.
The Chinese are hacking
probably because they want the cure.
I'm sorry, hackers from China hacking them because all of the hackers are in China.
Yeah,
that's not true. A lot of them are in Russia or Ukraine.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's like they're mercenaries, right? This is like there's
the way I see the whole hacking craze is like Russia and China are like carpet bombing with their hacking. They'll hack whatever they can, as much as they can, as fast as they can. Whereas Americans and the British intelligence seem to be very precise about their hacks. Like it only took like 1 button to fuck up all Iranian power plants.
Yeah, no, this just doesn't taste good now. Because I've been drinking Corona for the memes. I miss the craft beer store so much, man. Oh boy, I want to get back to my incredibly weird beers that I enjoy that cost like €3 a bottle.
God, that's fucking cringe. That's like Omega cringe.
What the fuck is this? What? Is this real? I mean, it's Joe Biden. Obviously, it's real, but what the fuck?
Yeah, you know that?
I mean, that's his granddaughter.
I mean, let's be honest. He's definitely going for the Christian vote.
Yeah.
It's definitely
he might do well in Alabama.
The thing is,
it's definitely weird, but there are people who do that with their parents or grandparents. It's just a thing that some people do.
The thing is, though, he's fighting.
It's
yeah, but those people are wrong.
It's like fighting for the Christian vote. It's like Trump has Pence. You're not gonna win. Pence literally wants to electrocute the game.
Electro Daddy Pence. Well, I want to explain this, Ironfront, because I'm assuming that this is some porn site that I've never heard of.
I think it's a furry porn site.
It's E621 is a furry image board, and yes, this is real. Adolf Hitler is an artist on there. He's got 2 pictures of dogs on there.
Well, yeah, he's an artist.
Epic. He's a shit artist.
Fucking
That's why we call it modern art now.
He's not a shit artist. People, oh, he's so
It
bad
has
at
no depth. His images have no depth.
Well, there's fucking better artists, right? But
they look pretty good.
Quite good. I like the pictures.
His art.
I like Hitler's pictures. There we go. I would hang them in my room.
His art
Okay,
has about as much
I wouldn't. They're not
depth as
interesting
his
enough.
political views.
You like them, but are they objectively better?
They are objectively better than a lot of art, yes, because the guy was a trained artist.
Well, I would say that they are good, but the fact that he's going for like a sort of like a realism approach to his art, but the realism isn't really there because they're not as detailed as they could be, then it kind of makes his art suffer a lot. Obviously, he's better than a fucking kindergartner with crayons or some dude who's at like a fucking art fair who draws like a seaboat, like a fucking like sailing boat or something, but it was clearly not good enough for him to get into art school.
Well, yeah, but no, you have to consider, I mean, sure, maybe his technique wasn't good enough for that, but you also have to consider that art schools often aren't necessarily dominated by, we're gonna do what's quality here, but, like, you have to do the thing that we currently think is on vogue. And if this particular style of drawing buildings wasn't on vogue with the people at the time, I mean, you know, they didn't print Moby Dick back in the day because it was too crazy that the main character would have died.
I'm gonna say though that the lack of technical ability in there, along with the lack of any sort of like any sort of like real like artistic like vision beyond just I'm drawing a building, kind of shows that it was much more likely that he just was bad at drawing and not necessarily that the artist had some sort of Jewish conspiracy against him or whatever.
In the words of the great
good at drawing, but he doesn't have anything he wants to draw.
Art is a depth into people's minds, and just like his policies, his political views, and his strategic decisions, he has no depth.
That is, I'm not sure I agree with any part of that statement.
See,
even his stupid
words.
what-if design of rebuilding Berlin was retarded.
That wasn't even him, though!
Yeah, wasn't that like
he just said, dude, expand the capital, Albert Speer, and then he did that.
It's still not.
Wow, surprising. The German is defending Hitler.
I know, my inner devil's advocate is just going, yes, do this. While at the same time, like, yeah, of course. I mean, he's not that good and all that. But like, I find it problematic to just declare Hitler being stupid because it opens the door.
He's not, but he just doesn't have depth.
What do you mean by that?
Like, there's always surface value. He's always surface value.
Well, he's like a basic bitch.
Exactly. If he was born today, he would be one of those YouTube artists, and he would have about 10k followers.
I would probably
exactly, Brady. He would be Hitler would be like one of those dudes on Reddit who's like, hey, here I drew a pencil drawing of like my grandma or like of this candy bar. It looks exactly like a candy bar or his grandma.
But isn't it supposed to look like a candy bar?
No,
like
it doesn't though. Like that's the point. Like his images like don't have like proper shadows and things like that. Like it's not like it like if he's trying to do realistic art that isn't like super realistic. So it's just bad technique, which for a style of art that needs good technique.
I'm using that. I'm gonna look this up here. There is a chance that he would be.
Hitler can draw better than me. Let's put it that.
See, I think this Hitler being born today really kind of inspired me to make a show where Hitler's reincarnated in the modern day with
that was already a movie.
Knowledge of his previous life.
That's already been made.
That was already a movie.
Yeah,
Who's back? It's a good film, actually. You should watch it.
Not in that sort. Like where.
Okay, I'm looking at some Hitler.
Oh, okay. So
right. I'm gonna make a real hot take right now.
Running around like beating up a Jewish kid.
I'm gonna make a hot take right now that if the reincarnated Hitler is Sargon of Akkad.
Exactly as expected. Do you want me to read this one?
Sargon, did you see that thing where Sargon advocated for an ethnic state because
yeah,
he was too stupid to write.
I know that he did that by accident because he
was
apparently has turned
hilarious.
into a fucking civic nationalist. But like, what the fuck? How do you
Basically,
manage to
he
accidentally advocate for an ethno-state?
What he did, right, is he said there
bad.
are not enough. There's a minority amount of people in London who identify as British, and the statistic he used to prove that said only 47% of Londoners identify as white British. And when presented with information, he just couldn't grasp like why that wasn't like why that didn't prove it. It was
also, how does that
hilarious.
prove that there needs to be an ethno? But like, what?
Right, if everyone...
he basically was saying
if
you
we
can't
just
be
started
British if
giving
you are
birth...
was basically the implication that was left after him providing that statistic, and then it being repeated to him of why that's wrong, and him not accepting that explanation.
I'm just gonna take another glorious hot take here.
Christ.
But if everyone gave birth to black babies, I'm sorry, but that's British.
Okay.
Like, who gives a fuck? Like, if the white man suddenly went exit, who cares?
That's the point. Like the other people on
I'm gonna take another hot take, right? It's gonna happen sooner or later that there aren't going to be any humans because we will replace them all with cat girls.
No,
Male
what's gonna
cat girls
happen? What's
and
gonna happen
female
with this
cat girls.
ethno-state bullshit is that you're gonna get the human equivalent of like English bulldogs and pugs, where like white people are just so deformed because there's this ideal whiteness that people have.
I'd like to see
they're-
that though. Unironically.
Right. That exists.
Did
You
you
wanna know?
say that
Well,
non-white
it's
people
like,
are
okay,
deformed?
okay.
Wait,
No.
wait.
Well, no, like no,
Wasn't
no.
that the
it's
European
like,
monarchy at the turn of the century?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's gonna
basically.
turn it. Yeah,
That
basically.
there's
That
an
already happened.
area, right, where that exists, right? It's called Cornwall.
Jesus, man.
But no, Burger, that thing I posted, it was
Why?
It's from 4chan. Apparently,
Yeah,
this,
let
this is
me
just-
do the classic thing that we always do. Let me read the not even green text.
Yeah.
I was hunting with my grandfather for my 19th birthday about a year ago, and we both watched a deer slam its head into a rock until its antlers and skull were shattered. Once its brains were everywhere, it tried to lick them up and looked like it couldn't even use its jaw or tongue right. So it just stood upright like a fucking human and just walked into the river and died. We left immediately, and my granddad was fucking terrified. I haven't been near the woods since, and he moved to Florida with my grandmother for safety reasons. What the fuck, dude?
I honestly thought that was the Florida deer.
No, that's Skinwalker. They supposedly saw a Skinwalker. That's what.
Oh.
Okay, that's the joke. I see.
Yeah, but still, it just sounds disturbing as hell.
What?
'Cause
What's
I-
the fucking-
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry, this must be American myths.
There's some
Skinwalker-
interesting
Skinwalker-
American myths, man.
Yes. Yeah, Skinwalkers are an American myth, and they're fucking creepy. They're
Yeah,
so fucking
they're
creepy.
they're kind of like witches, aren't they?
It's a Navajo thing.
Yeah.
It's essentially a type of witch who has the ability to turn into possess
Oh,
or disguise itself as an animal.
Isn't it like a wind?
Kind of like a
So, I've
werewolf,
just
but
read
like
the one
weird.
below.
Except they're susceptible to smallpox.
Oh, have their own kind of thing about werewolves,
Oh,
don't they? Those cannibal thingies.
Wendigo.
It's here. Look at this. Obviously,
Yeah,
Photoshop.
yeah. Wendigo.
Oh, I know the
Super-
original of this.
Super real. Super.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's like old, like American, like Native American mythology.
It's Navajo, yeah.
Yeah.
How the fuck did Hitler get away with having a sidekick named Himmler? That's like Luigi Waluigi Tim bullshit. That is true, yes.
Jesus Christ.
No, but I'm talking like modern American folklore, like fearsome critters and stuff. Which I mean, obviously, often were inspired
Oh,
by
the
Native
Grafted
American
monster and shit.
lore.
Like,
So-
yeah, I guess.
yeah, like jackalopes and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
jackalopes are a thing.
Chupacabras like
where
that.
I live.
Chupacabra was, I think, first like cited in like the 90s or something like that.
The mo-
I remember Chupacabra. I remember somebody going, telling me, yeah, Chupacabra means goat sucker. And I'm like,
Yes.
yeah,
what
that is literally what the words mean. How did you expect me to not know this? Until I realized that it was in Spanish. And for just years, I hadn't realized that the word was Spanish. But just because I speak Spanish, I just assumed that everybody knew it was called goat sucker.
No, because we're taught what a chupacabra is long before we ever reached high school Spanish. And I don't even think you learned the word goat sucker in high school.
Yeah, no, I didn't learn that, obviously, on account of not being American.
Right. Yeah, you grew up in Spain or something.
Yeah.
See, we
None of us want to know that.
over here in England. Because we know when we're drunk.
I'm ready to get hate for this.
Pure Stress, you're having problems with your mic, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but it's
your mic just sounds like shit, dude.
I'm not sure what the problem is with that, but it's...
It's all the internet.
God.
Oh god, the end isn't bit off. Oh no. It's not bitten off.
Nice.
Oh no, it's real.
And cut the rest.
I love it when Candy validates stereotypes.
I mean, is that why we don't have any Asian sweets?
I don't know.
No,
Maybe I collected some new memes over the past week, but for that my hard drive has to spin up.
No, it's the Asian ones are Kit Kats.
Oh, I bought like a special pack of Kit Kats a while ago.
Wait, whoa! Asian Kit Kat, like in terms of this meme, that's really disturbing.
No, like all the weird flavors that they have of Kit Kats.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any new. I haven't acquired new memes since. Oh Jesus, fuck! This is bright as shit. Holy Jesus.
There needs to be like a joke fucking film out there where it's like all these horrors and myths are actually real, but they're actually like, you know, mortal, none of that magic shit, so you could just shotgun them once and they're down.
I mean, usually they can. I mean,
have you like watched Supernatural?
No. I haven't watched TV in years.
I mean, me neither, but you don't have to watch it on TV.
Maybe decades for Supernatural.
There was like this show where these dudes had like all these fucking guns, and they would go out into the woods looking for like cryptids to like shoot in the face.
That's just the first thing that you want to do is when you encounter Bigfoot. It's just
yeah. There was an episode on Bigfoot who apparently has mind control powers.
That is why Bigfoot doesn't talk to us. It's because of motherfuckers like that. He's like, nope, they just gonna shoot me in the face. I'm not gonna do it. This is too... Bigfoot Society probably has PSAs. If you see these kinds of apes in the forest, run and do not show yourself to them because they have guns and will shoot you in the face probably.
Worse yet, the first human that a Bigfoot mind read was a furry.
Jesus. Why is this?
Oh yeah.
Why? Jesus, Frodo, what the fuck? Play Crusader Kings for the first time in years. Capture a queen and princess at a raid. Take them both as concubines. Okay. Pause the game to fab 3 times while watching. Jesus fuck, dude. What the fuck? What the fuck? Stop! Stop! You violated the law!
Crusader Kings.
Jesus fuck.
Hey, what did we say earlier, okay?
Today is a weird stream,
when someone hands
man.
you Zyklon B,
shit.
just say no.
Hey, so how about all those K-pop stands discovering Joji is Filthy Frank?
Oh, I saw that, yeah. It wasn't that many people. It was only like 200 people.
That's awesome.
I think most people are
the way around.
I do believe... fuck, this is the video I was going to do tomorrow. I'm going to spoil it at this point. I do believe that the way of Joji
Jesus.
is the what the fuck is the way that artists should be able to go all the time.
Oh yeah.
It's over time.
Because you evolve, you change, your art changes, the things that you do changes, and if at some point you don't want to be, stop. COVID-19 treatment, fucking ketamine.
No.
You should be able to leave that behind, especially in the way that Joji did it, where he basically made Filthy Frank public domain. Like, there's a lot of Filthy Frank clone channels, and some of them I actually follow, like, on or off. None of them are as good as the man himself, obviously. But, there are some good ones. This is why cats are fucking narcissists. Jesus Christ. Leave my poor boy alone. Holy shit, he got fat. Jesus. But also respect.
Jesus.
Jeff Bezos announced his plan to just beat the shit out of small business owners. Oh, fuck.
Now.
I love how he's just making so much money off the coronavirus. It just is insane how much money he's making.
More importantly, he's employing essential workers.
What?
What? I didn't catch
I
that.
didn't understand.
His stuff has to have some people. Some of Jeff Bezos's operation.
Dude,
Bro,
whatever new mic you got, I'm not sure that was a mic.
Yeah.
It might have been anything else with just a cable with a USB cord on it, but that is not a microphone. That might just be an orange that has a cable coming out of it.
He's speaking into the speaker part of the headset.
It's the shitty internet. Okay. In that case, fuck AT&T or Verizon or whatever internet you have.
Actually, if you have a, I don't think it would work with USB, but like an analog headset, and you plug it into the microphone thing, and you talk into the earpiece, it'll actually pick it up because the speaker is just a microphone in reverse.
No, I think the problem here is that he has shit internet.
Oh no,
internet.
I'm just saying.
How do you have sat? Do you live in the middle of nowhere? I mean, you might live in the middle of nowhere, yeah.
Or he lives in space. No landlines.
That is also true, yeah. I really want to fucking go to space, man. That's one of my biggest dreams in life, is just go to space.
Same.
Just to hang out for like a minute. Maybe smoke a joint or something.
Would you like to survive the trip?
Yeah, I kind of would, yes.
Alright, so makeshift V2's out of the question.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because usually dying in space that isn't violent usually involves overheating and suffocation, which just sounds
like
horrible.
space death is not.
Space death is the most interesting. You freeze and burn up at the same time.
Yeah.
And suffocate. Yeah.
Like having a fever.
I wouldn't say that it's the best of both worlds necessarily.
I mean, I
like the worst.
I wouldn't mind like falling asleep in like 0G. I'm wondering if it's like
but how about you also wake up in zero? How about that? How about that's how we handle
what I'm saying.
this?
Just like taking a nap in 0G, then I wake up and my back doesn't hurt. That would be awesome.
That
like no
that obviously is that is cool. Although I don't necessarily have this problem. What the fuck is this video? Oh, that's kind of cool. But something's gonna happen. Holy shit, dude!
It's a WebM.
What an asshole!
Right
what a fucking dick! Holy fuck!
Somebody describe it to me.
It's basically there's like an escalator that's going up, right? And there's just two guys. There's two guys holding on to it and like being drawn up like by their arms. And there's another guy standing on the escalator that, when it's a certain way up, just takes their hands and lifts them off the railing so they fall down.
What an absolute Chad.
What a fucking piece of shit, dude.
It's a good thing the advertisement on the side's for a hospital.
That's true.
Okay, this.
I mean, to be
this
fair,
video shit is getting. I remember a few streams ago when I was like, "Let's not play videos," and now everyone is just sending me videos. What is this?
What?
What the fuck?
Well, that is
What?
definitely Japanese.
What? What was
Sorry,
that video?
Which one? The horse one?
The chief.
Yeah, the one where the woman gave birth to a horse after
think
picking
it's
up
an
a CD.
I'm pretty sure it's an advertisement for like some sort of software.
Yeah, yeah, you might not be wrong about that.
See, I think it's connected to the hospital one because the hospital one it says it has a new birthing center. So.
Jesus fucking Christ. Ah! That is terrible. That poor grandma. I mean, or presumably a grandma. Might have been someone else also.
You know, if right. Here's one of those thought experiments. If Hitler survived and was now like 120 or whatever,
He
age
would
it
probably
be,
have Alzheimer's.
right? And then
He'd
he
probably be
falls
German.
over, and he's like in a wheelchair, but the wheelchair falls over. Is it funny?
Yes.
I mean, it's
Yes,
also
I
funny
agree.
when it's not Hitler, so yes.
It's
Okay,
just
so
extra
what if
funny
you-
because it's Hitler.
Okay, so what if you had like a tiny Hitler?
I
The
mean,
Czech
you just-
Republic put up signs about the Tiananmen Square massacre for their Chinese tourists. Holy fuck, what a galaxy brain chat move. Damn.
I mean, to be
Oh,
honest,
wow.
Respect.
Can we
Fucking
just-
respect.
you know, I think that's what we should do as revenge for Corona.
Yeah, the issue though now
It's
is
just
I think
every-
those people are gonna get picked up on their way back from
Yeah,
China.
100%.
I mean, don't give us a fucking disease then. Fucking
Why-
eating bash.
Why do you need signs?
What is happening? What is
Nothing
this?
happens.
Yürüyor. Yaşar hazırlanıyor. Mükemmel bir atlayış. Atladı.
Okay, this is pretty good.
Okay,
That's
what's this?
pretty good.
Okay, he's diving.
What?
Congratulations, you found Albert, the unfindable crab. Now time will collapse. I saw a really good one. Bob Bobbinson begins to end existence. I was tired of looking at it. Fucking surreal memes, man. But we're pretty full. I don't think the chat, like, we've been this full for a while.
Yeah.
I remember the time right after like my Patreon blew up, where I was like, "Oh no, it's gonna be so terrible because I'll have problems getting all these people in," and then just for months on end, it was only Brady in fucking chat here.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like occasionally someone else would pop in, but that was it.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I know, and I'm really fucking boring unless there's a competition
It's
involved.
like how am I supposed to make this stream? I don't do this stream for entertainment. I do this stream so people give me money. Fuck.
You gotta take your shirt off for that.
I've thought of a meta way to increase your audience, right? Twitch stream.
It's the
Hentai
investor
games.
stream.
Pornhub.
Heck yeah.
What do you mean anti?
Do the stream on.
Hentai.
Okay, no. That will not happen.
I swear that's like Steam's decision on how do we stop Epic Store and others. It's like X-rated games.
I mean, like, respect on them for doing that, but no. No, I'm not. Not even because, I mean, because again, I'm just not an anime guy.
Wait, I can tell. Who the hell decided JoJo was a good starting point?
It's been so many people recommended it to me, and I fucking hate it. It's just
it's so deep in like the fucking anime fandom that they seem to not realize that it's solely for them.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to work my way into anime a different way.
I enjoy I have a hard time watching it, but I enjoy it because of how absurd it is. Like, it's fucking insane.
No, but
like,
no. That's that is the thing that I was like, this is bizarre. But up until this point, it was occasionally slightly odd. I was expecting some Bobobo shit, okay? I was expecting a guy that fights with his nose hairs. But this is like, wow, I have blades in my hat, which is something that London gangsters have been known to do for centuries.
I mean, I watched an episode recently that was later in it. I watched an episode recently that was later in a season where a man was like creating monsters that came out of their body because he gave them delicious food that made them fucking orgasm.
That just sounds
okay, see, that's more interesting, but I don't want to have to go through 2 fucking seasons to get to the interesting part.
So your contention is that it isn't bizarre enough yet?
Yes, my contention is that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is not bizarre.
Fuck
I have a very high standard for bizarreness.
Interesting.
Hey, Burger.
Now, are you talking about odd or markets?
He's talking fucking Cthulhu levels. Mind-bending reality.
No, because Cthulhu levels is not odd. Cthulhu levels is just incomprehensible.
Yeah,
they don't really show you the odd shit because they don't want to be funny.
Unless it's a film adaptation, because then it's fucking weird. I remember I saw it was Herbert West Reanimator. They made it into a film in like the 90s, I would want to say. And there's a scene where the principal, like the dean of their college, he dies, but then gets reanimated, and his head is severed, and he places his severed head into the vagina of a woman because he wanted to lick her pussy. Which, do an HP Love crowd, honestly.
Respect, I guess.
Yeah.
For that move. What the fuck?
Well, I don't know about respect. The woman was not consenting to the zombie eating her pussy. Yeah,
okay, well, in that case, no. But
he was kind of a dick zombie.
Well, I mean,
I think it would be. It's like difficult to make a Lovecraft film because, like, even if you read Lovecraft, there's a point where even he goes incomprehensible, indescribable.
I have
Words
seen a film that
cannot say how this
really,
is.
really well. What's the name of that one film? It's a movie about Natalie Portman is like a scientist, like a biologist.
That baby head thing terrified me as a child.
It was a movie about Natalie Portman's like a biologist who goes with a bunch of soldiers into this like weird abnormality zone where like stuff is really weird. Honestly, you just have to watch it. The visuals in it.
Okay, when people say you just have to watch it is a really bad sign.
I think I've heard about this.
Okay, I could explain literally the entire plot to you, but then like you wouldn't watch it then.
Hello?
It has interesting visuals. It's got a lot of really creepy moments. I could post like 1 or 2 visuals for you if you'd like.
Shit, my mic's not working, is it?
Actually, your mic is working.
Oh, okay.
Name is
Yeah, so...
Right, yeah.
I'm sorry, but what the fuck, Australia?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Freaking Australia, man.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
Hey, so
realize Mario.
Yeah, what's up?
I just wanted to. I was just wondering, like, would you ever do a stream where you would read "Hell Holds No Surprises for Me Anymore"? It's that Amazon review I linked.
You did, right? I did consider doing that, but I do want to do another fan fiction stream like the ones that I did in the past. But I actually chose one that I'm gonna do that C-Tool sent me on Twitter, and it's Dave Saint Dider Pokemon Trainer, because it just seems so fucking wild, and it's like I didn't play Pokemon as a kid, which I know that's a sacrilege, but my grandmother wouldn't get me the games. And so Pokemon wasn't a part of my childhood.
Yeah. Also, there's an anime where Nyarlathotep is the main character, and he's a lolicon, and he fucks with people as a lolicon.
I'm sorry, where is this?
I remember there was an anime that it was, I think, like Hastur the Unspeakable, Cthulhu, and like another one were like anime girls, and they all lived together, and it was the most boring anime I've ever seen, which I would not expect from an anime from that description.
Well, I mean, there's sometimes people just think if you throw in interesting things, what'll come out is interesting, which it's just not.
They didn't do anything interesting though. They like literally the plot of the first episode was they had a rock paper scissors competition.
Sounds like Hitalia. Just
if
that sounds
Slice
like
of Life is the shittest bottom of the barrel crap that anime comes out.
Listen,
with.
right, but it was like a Slice of Ice anime, but they just had the names of like eldritch gods. Like they didn't even make anyone's face melt or anything.
Yeah, it's literally what anime does. They have a fucking female fucking that King English something. King Arthur, that's the one. Jesus fart brain. Keep up.
There's like a yaoi anime where the Buddha and Jesus are roommates, and they just like do gay shit together. And I tried watching it, and it's really just, it's like, yeah, this is just really fucking gay. But it's Buddha, it's Buddha and Jesus. It's like, okay, I guess that's supposed to be the quirk.
Plot twist: they're the same person.
Okay, I thought that was gonna happen. Well, this is what?
Yep.
Okay, what? I'm sorry, what? I mean, it's Japan. There's nothing Japan hasn't done. And this includes genocide. To circle back to that conversation.
Rapping is Jesus and Buddha being gay roommates together.
I mean, that sounds interesting.
It was. I mean, it was really popular on Tumblr.
God.
But it's like a lot of the time, especially when you get into Cthulhu stuff, it's people just think you just slap tentacles on a thing and then it's like cosmic horror. It's like, no, that's not.
No, it's not. Not in anime. If you slap tentacles on something, it goes somewhere completely different.
Yeah, look, my mind doesn't work like this.
No, I think the best Lovecraftian story I've read personally was Junji Ito's The Spirals. I think that's the best.
Oh, but Junji Ito is really good though. He actually manages to pull that shit off.
Yeah, well, it's like The Spirals is like there's no explanation for what's going on. It's just this ancient thing that fucking happens, and humans are just there. It's like this ancient process happens. It's been going on for tens of thousands of years, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. It just happens.
Yeah.
You know, and this is how it destroys humans. Not on purpose, just because we're in the way. So.
I remember this is my favorite Lovecraft story because it's so bad, right? This story, because I have the I mean, obviously you've seen literally videos of mine, and you've seen my beautiful complete collection of Lovecraft fiction, and my favorite story in there, because it's so fucking shit, is basically there's just hi, I am this French count, and I have there was a curse on my family. Made by a guy, and all of my ancestors died at a certain age, and there was always a person present there that looked like this person that had originally cast the curse. But that couldn't be, because that would mean the person is hundreds of years old. And then at the end, he meets the guy, and he says, I am the guy who cast the curse. I am hundreds of years old. It's like, oh no! What a wild concept this is that I cannot wrap my head around. It's like, that's the first... Before even starting to read the story, I knew that this was going to be the end of it. Which just demonstrates that it's the same thing that I have with, like, Lord of the Rings, right? It's just there's a lot of these tropes that ultimately... I know what you just posted. I'm gonna play it later, and I fucking love it. It's using these old tropes that they introduced, but which by modern standards are just so shit, right? They're just so incredibly played out, and because I came up in this modern era. Yeah, I'm gonna play this.
You're familiar with the tropes, and therefore you like aren't impressed by them. I get that.
Listen, this is much more important. That this is we usually these are not this. We have to like bring down our fucking intellectual levels here and talk about fucking gay retards a bit more.
Luigi, don't be a dinophobe. It takes all colors to make a rainbow. Except black. There's no black in a rainbow.
American, not young.
Wait, what's the best insult for Americans?
Retard.
The fucking Mario thing. Takes all colors to make a rainbow except black.
No black in a rainbow.
No black in a rainbow.
I forgot about that this video existed. I'm happy that I found it again. I'm gonna forget again. It's gonna cross my path in the future. Alright, we don't need to fucking take a shower. Jesus Christ.
My favorite shitty Lovecraft story the story behind him writing it was interesting because it's like he went on this tour in New York with a couple friends, and then like at the early morning, because it was like an all-night tour, he stopped in a stationery shop, bought a notebook, and wrote the story out. And the story is basically about a guy who meets this old man dressed up like he's from the 1700s, and the man like shows him a mirror that shows him the past of New York, and then he shows him the future of New York. It's just basically just a bunch of like dudes in orange jumpsuits like dancing at a rave with like huge pyramids.
It
drives a guy insane,
dope, dude.
You know, it drives a guy insane, and he jumps out the window.
If you
That's
ever,
really the end of it.
If you ever want to see like Lovecraft, like insane brain like stories, read the Dream Quest of Kadith. That fucking thing.
I want to turn that into if I had any kind of like video game design skills or anything like that, I'd turn that into like an RPG.
There was an RPG, tabletop RPG about it.
There is a game coming out that's where the art style is heavily inspired by H.R. Geiger. I think we talked about this last week.
Oh, no, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Scorn.
Yeah,
Scorn.
People dancing in orange suits in New York right now seems about right.
Fuck, dude.
Well, like all the buildings are like black pyramids and stuff. It's I guess it's like
those are the body bags.
Those are the body bags.
Jesus, Frodo, goddamn.
At the Mountains of Madness is probably like Lovecraft at his like least racist and probably his best.
The Mouth of Madness,
yeah, Mountains of Madness. Yeah.
Oh, okay, Mountains of Madness. Yeah, okay.
Well,
I mean, you still have the.
I thought you were
the degree of racist that Lovecraft was. Just even for the time he was racist.
He was very racist for the time.
It's so incredible.
No, and granted, he was really fucked up. You know, he had a horrible childhood and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But he was still fucking racist.
Yo, you want to hear a super racist quote from his book on how he describes a person?
Yes.
Yes.
The match had been between Kid O'Brien, a lubbery and now quaking youth with the most Hibernian hooked nose, and Buck Robertson, the Harlem Smoke. The Negro had been knocked out, and a moment's examination showed us that he would permanently remain so. He was a loathsome gorilla-like thing with abnormally long arms, which I could not help but call forelegs, and a face that conjured up thoughts of unspeakable Congo secrets and tom-tom poundings under an eerie moon.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude!
I remember hearing that in an audiobook, because I was not, at the time, I knew that Lovecraft was kind of racist, but I didn't really understand to the extent, and I was listening to this audiobook, and the fucking narrator was like, what the fuck did he just say?
It's just, and it's like people go, oh, you have to place it in the context of the times. Like, no,
you
it's,
place
at
it-
that
you
point,
place it in the
it's
context,
not.
he's fucking
Even in
racist.
the context, it was extremely racist.
It's like even people in the
Nazi Germany
KKK
would be like,
reading
"Damn,
Lovecraft
bro."
back then was like, oh, that's a bit much, ain't it?
I mean, it's the fact that like, cause he had correspondences with so many people, you know, like the one author, his name was like Lovechild. He was really close friends with Lovecraft, and eventually Lovechild says like, look, dude, you're too fucking racist. We can't keep talking to each other. Yeah, that's how.
So
bad,
much
like,
for the
Lovecraft
tolerant left.
Dude, I remember there. I think one of the weirdest stories in terms of modern context that I've read from Lovecraft, in terms of like just like why is this scary? He made a I can't remember what the name of the story was, but there was a story about a man who has an air conditioner.
I'm gonna go on a limb.
Oh, I remember this.
Oh yes, I know.
And
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
fuck, Jesus.
And he's using the air conditioner to like preserve his body or something. Like, but he just owns an air conditioner.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like he just owns one because those are like new at the time, and so
Yeah,
it's-
and so I remember this.
And it breaks. Yeah, and it breaks.
It breaks and he
like,
turns into a little fucking tadpole puddle thing, whatever. I don't know.
Well, 'cause
Unspeakable thing.
He has his servants like haul ice up. Eventually, there's not enough ice, and like the landlord goes in and just sees like what he is, and it's horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was actually that was come to think of it, that was actually kind of funny to me. That story.
What is the context behind this image? What?
Can you hear me?
Stop
yeah, I can hear you.
climate.
Right. What happened was, they had this rally and they had a hose with a bunch of red paint, but then they lost control of it and it went fucking everywhere. And
There's video of it too.
Yeah.
At the end of it, they just ended up getting fined. All of them got arrested and fined.
What is the protest about? It says stop funding climate something.
Climate Dean.
Oh.
That's what it's Climate Dean.
Huh.
Is this supposed to? I don't know what that's supposed to sound
Never
like.
heard of him, but
it was those Extinction Rebellion people that did it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. Fuck those guys. Yeah. Fuck.
Extinction Rebellion people. I don't know.
I've
Yeah,
never
fuck
been
those
clear on
people.
what exactly they do because I feel like they're like, hey, let's fight climate change, which I'm like, yeah, nice.
There are a bunch of rich people whose idea of fighting climate change is to severely inconvenience working class and poor people. Like they're the ones who'll stand out in the streets, or they'll block like subways and shit while people are trying to get to work. No, fuck extinction. Fuck those people.
That's what you're supposed to do as a protest. You're supposed to inconvenience people so they listen to you.
Yeah, that's why. That's why
not wrong.
climate.
Well, no, they
The goal
inconvenience
of
people,
protest,
and then
not
those people beat the
making a
shit
bother
out
out
of
of
them.
things, should not be at the top of your priority.
No, they inconvenience people, and those people beat the shit out of them.
Although I have to say
Well, fuck
there
those.
is a certain smugness that I found about like climate change protesters against like the working class, which
That's the thing.
It's
That's
gonna
the
be
thing
funny
is
when
that
the working class seized power and execute them all.
Well, see, it's like the kind like with the subway thing. The protests, like subways, are like a really clean way to move people around. It's like what? Yeah,
Right.
The thing that I've thought, but I don't think that this is true. But whenever I see Extinction Rebellion, mouth words, Extinction Rebellion somewhere, I think that they're like anti-natalists, or at least like hyper-Malthusians, right?
No, they're a climate change activist group.
Oh, so it's basically just, it's not, hey, let's just kill people. Let's just.
No, they're anti-natalists. They're like, hey, we're gonna die if we don't do something.
Right, the problem with climate activism, right, the fundamental issue with climate activism is none of them are giving a solution, and we need the stuff that they're proposing.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do my Dennis Prager impression, which I don't think is gonna be very good, but let's do it. The left doesn't ask, what's good for America? They ask, oh God, Dennis, is that shit? Dennis, are you taking a goddamn shit on the floor? Is this a fucking Chili's, you disgusting old man? I know you think it's cute, but it's really not. Every time you do this, somebody has to clean it. Oh, fuck, PragerU, man.
Oh, hey, I just wanted to mention
there before.
another. I just want to mention another Lovecraft story I actually really enjoy because it kind of embodies like the insignificance of man and all that shit. Is the Temple. The basic story is that there's this World War I German sub going through the Atlantic, and they suffer a malfunction, so the sub starts sinking, and eventually sinks to the bottom of the seafloor, and the captain basically goes insane and kills the rest of the crew, all this shit. And he looks out the window and he sees this ancient city, submerged.
Hold up, a window in a submarine.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
I mean, we make them now, but then.
Well,
at the bottom of the sea, and it's not just crushed.
Don't question it.
No, it's Lovecraft. Don't question it. The other like the first thing that like tipped me off is like how disturbing it was is because all these dolphins start like going down with the sub, like following the sub like playfully, and then it gets to the point where it's like these dolphins shouldn't be down this deep. These dolphins are going way further down than they should be able to, and eventually they leave and leave him. He's left at the bottom of the sea in this ancient city, and he sees a building that looks like a temple. So he puts on like not the scuba suit, the fucking the suits.
The one with the bell.
Yeah, those big like in BioShock, the Big Daddy suits. I forgot their proper name. And
diving suits.
Diving suits, right? And he just goes and he walks into this temple and he just sits down and just dies.
Cool. I don't actually remember this one. Also,
yeah, it's called the Temple, and it's just like that's what I love about it. It's just like there's no like horror. It's just the two disturbing things is just the city and the dolphins, and him just like deciding like I'm just gonna die here.
The thing about this pure stress, the thing you posted, right? This is something that I'm German, right? And we don't get taught. We get taught about the 6 million Jews in school. They don't teach us that 11 million people died in the Holocaust. That's almost twice that amount. It's just that the other 5 million weren't Jewish. Yeah, it's like they're almost twice as terrible. But it's like it's like 11 million people died in the Holocaust, right? And then most people go on about just 6 million because they don't know that it was actually just 5 million worse.
I mean, we're taught that too in America that there was like 11 million people. I thought actually I was told 12.
Do you? Because I didn't get taught this in high school.
No, yeah, I mean we're taught that. I mean, you emphasize the Jewish thing because that clearly was the
I mean, yeah, that's like the main thing, obviously. But they just didn't tell us.
Yeah, no, it was like 6 million Jews and then 6 million others of like gypsies, mentally disabled, and Slavic people, prisoners of war, things.
I'm gonna do another hot take, but I think the rape of Nanking was worse.
Then the Holocaust? No. Then the whole Holocaust? Absolutely not. I don't. That's not even.
They're not really. Dude, they're not comparable. The rape of Nanking. The rape of Nanking was what made, aside from the actions they committed, was just the intensity of it, and that all happened over the span of like 7 weeks. That all that blood and
yeah, are you talking about the one event or what Japan did in China for the entire war?
No, I'm talking about the one event, the rape of Nanking. That's 7 weeks.
I mean, what China did, what Japan did was just like brutal as fuck. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if China just nuked Japan out of.
No, No, now granted, it was fucking horrible. It was bad enough that like the leader of the internet, that like a leader in the international zone formed, was a Nazi.
Yeah.
Like the internet. Yeah, the
It's
internet.
Jon Rabe. His name was Jon Rabe. Like literally, the hero of the rape of Nanking was an actual straight up Nazi.
I mean, not all Nazis actually knew about what was going on in the Holocaust. That wasn't like something they like advertised, like that the conditions of like the concentration camp.
What is
that being said, like I mean, it depends on how you define things as being worse.
I'm
like,
sorry. What is happening? What is happening? Is this real?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Cito, is this real?
Oh.
Is this actually real?
Ooh.
Did
Shaddy Daddy noticed him?
Did Shaddy Daddy notice me?
Wait, Shad? Are you talking about Shadiversity or?
Yeah, is this a real thing? Did he actually watch my review of his book?
I will look it up.
Nice.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Daddy, Daddy.
Photoshop.
Sorry if I accidentally killed it by saying Shad, man. It's just whenever I hear Shad, it just
even though I do not follow Shadman even remotely.
He did in fact comment on that.
Holy shit, dude!
You should probably go pin that comment.
Yeah, I will go. Oh damn! Holy fuck! What?
I was expecting him to. Reading that, and because we're talking of these stupid memes, I expected it to be Shad goes on a rant on how you're wrong.
Holy shit! This is like
I don't think Shad would be like the ranty type.
He's one of my favorite fucking YouTubers. I'm not even joking, dude. Fucking this is like back in the day when I did the video talking about Dr. Lehman. And he responded to it. I have to... This is insane. Holy fuck.
GG Burger.
I can't pin this because this isn't my channel. Right, I'm in the different channel. Logged in. Holy fuck.
That donut meme reminds me of a meme I don't have anymore, where it's like if you ate 2 packs of hot dogs a day, it'd kill you faster than cigarettes.
I mean, that's not wrong.
That's a lot of hot dogs to eat, so yeah.
It depends on the kind of hot dog. If you're talking about like a 99-cent pack, yeah, but like a really high quality like Nathan's like kosher dog, probably not.
I mean, that's a lot of calories, isn't it? How much is 2 packs of hot dogs worth in calories?
I have no idea.
It's just not good for you. Let's just put it that way.
I'm confused because I've seen a pack of hot dogs over here, which are like 4 in a pack. And I'm like, yeah,
what is a pack?
Oh, no, they're like in 12 packs here. Like,
okay,
150.
It's like 8 to 12 packs usually for hot dogs.
Roughly.
At least that's what I've seen.
You know, you can actually eat hot dogs without chewing them. You just kind of like launch them down your throat.
Technically, you could eat like 16 hot dogs.
Did you know that
That's
I didn't want to know that? Were you aware that was the case?
Well, there's a lot of food you can eat without chewing. You just let it slide. There's a lot of food you can do that with.
I mean,
yeah, but we were talking
I'm
about hot dogs.
not going to deep throat a sausage.
So I remember we were playing Dungeons and Dragons once, and I made a discovery. So there's a magical item called the Alchemist Jar, and it can basically generate like certain types of liquid from it. And there's like a set list of what types of liquid and what amount you can get. Now we did some like nutritional information lookups and like things like what proteins you need, what calories you need, and we learned that you can make almost your entire vitamin and caloric intake by eating nothing but a cup of mayonnaise a day. And this was a survival-based campaign, so we had to carry around like pounds and pounds of food with us. So instead, we just like ate mayonnaise every day.
This is why
what
fucking
the
Soylent.
Fuck?
This is why Soylent.
Hey, we used magic to make it
like
flavored differently though, so it was mayonnaise that tastes like chocolate pudding.
No.
Oh my
this
God.
kind of mindset. This kind of mindset created fucking. Oh god.
Oh my God! I'd rather eat mayonnaise.
I'm sorry. Man who ripped out another man's heart and ate it to prove he wasn't gay admits he went too far. What? What?
Man, it was just a
Someone had no balls, and he had to do it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm genuinely curious. Did he do it with a physical hand, just like punch through his chest?
I'm pretty sure that is not what happened.
Yes, he Kano. You fucking Kano Mortal Kombat that guy.
Holy shit, Shad saw my review. That is some fucking shit, dude.
Yeah, man.
Holy damn.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Oh!
Oh,
no! Fuck!
Oh, that's
Jesus!
Oh my god.
That is dark.
No, don't react that way, you fuck.
Oh my
Holy
god.
Shit, dude. Dennis Prager.
God is non-binary.
God transcends gender. Yes. Joe gets the job done. Oh, fuck, dude. Jesus.
I'll have you know I made that poster too.
Nice. Respect.
It was the reply to my aunt. She posted one that someone put out in their yard that was like oh, you drank the Kool-Aid in 2016, drink the bleach in 2020. And I posted, it was in a family group chat, and I posted that back there, and she got offended. I was like, if you can't dish it out, or if you can dish it, or if you can't take it, don't dish it out.
Ah, the nostalgia critic. What a...
Okay, I have no idea what Linus says here.
Okay, let me. Linus Tactics.
Anybody want?
Always good.
What's your problem? You're a gamer.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, I found this out about shoe bills, and it's fucking terrifying.
I'm sorry, what?
Shoe bills?
No, I know what a shoe bill is, and I'm looking at the thing. It's just, I'm sorry, what is my reaction to it? What the fuck?
Why does it have a mouth penis?
That's its spine.
Why
That's
don't you have a mouth penis?
It can push its spine out of its mouth.
Oh.
But why?
I don't know, nature is something.
Oh my god.
It's like
nature is fucking beautiful.
It's like nature looked at one of those "What has science done" memes and was like, "Hold my beer."
From what like a quote expert on Twitter said was, since birds can't sweat, that they basically had to pant, and that basically the shoe bill does that to like help cool themselves off.
That makes sense. Although maybe
I'm like you know,
use literally anything that isn't your fucking spine, maybe.
Yeah, I was just like, you know what? I don't have the effort to go confirm that.
Oh.
If I meet Daro Harold, Jesus,
Okay,
man, Brady.
Look, man, he's ruined that channel.
Fucking alt-right waifu pillows, man. Damn.
Oh yeah, I had the screenshot. This just made me fucking
so
laugh.
beautiful.
The fact that Wisconsin hasn't taken over the Upper Peninsula from Michigan tells me everything I need to know about those cowards.
White flower, dude. Oh, Jesus.
White flower.
Fuck, man. Yeah, today was a bit of a this is too much. It's all the pedophile, all of them, except for the person of color. It's all. I'm sorry, but it's just the case.
No, the thing is, every like black YouTuber who is into like the fighting anime shit nearly always has that sort of fucking avatar.
It's either Naruto or Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Did you call all of them pedos? I'm pretty sure some of these are like adults, aren't they? I've never seen Kill la Kill, but isn't she over 18?
No, but if just people with anime avatars.
Oh, I mean, you're just generally saying people with anime. I mean, I agree with that sentiment. Yeah. Anime is in fact garbage.
My avatar's from a game.
Damn. What is happening?
Yeah, but you're English, so it's automatically implied you're a pedophile, so you're okay.
Now all of the memes are coming out. I'm trying to fucking do them one after the other. Joe Biden could rape me in the middle of Fifth Avenue, and I would still vote for him because I would vote for before I would vote for Trump or Sanders.
What?
What? Also, by the same woman, a tweet, I feel sexually assaulted every time I see or hear Sanders. He projected his sick gang rape fantasies onto all women and children, make him resign. What the fuck?
She's referring to his
to the thing that he did. Yeah. No, I know.
He made like a paper about how women have rape fantasies back in like his college days or something like that, didn't he?
But how is this a real? How does her head not explode from the cognitive dissonance?
Insanity.
Ideology? I don't know, man. They have a feeling that Sanders is bad because they probably had like a bad interaction with a Bernie Sanders supporter one time and then like just assumed that Bernie Sanders is the fault for it. I don't know.
Look, if we use retarded logic, I am justified in ultimate genocide of all reality.
This is a dark stream. I feel like this one is darker than the others. I don't know.
It's the first one I've been into.
Remember?
Congratulations, welcome.
Well, welcome. You've been a patron for a while, though, haven't you?
Only like a month.
Really?
We've been talking about the.
Oh, but you were a patron before, but you weren't a $20 patron.
No, it wasn't even that. I was just. I don't know. I was.
In that case, Patreon didn't tell me about you, and I should probably put you on the patron list.
Oh, it should have. Oh, I think it's because I joined your patron thing and I didn't have Discord linked, and then I went back and linked.
No, but like it's I keep the patron list for the end of the video separate.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, separate but equal. Jesus fuck. Damn.
Can we just like, everyone likes to applaud the NHS and health workers, but like, can we take a moment for the retailers who are still doing their job and are now the only source of like outbursts that the Karens have? And they have to
I actually, you know what though? I know a Karen in real life, like a middle-aged woman named Karen, and she is a complete sweetheart. She's great. She plays it like in our fucking pen and paper round. She plays a dwarven mercenary, a dude too. She's just amazing. So I've been. She doesn't know. She doesn't know about the K word.
Oh, she doesn't?
No, but she's German, so.
Oh.
Yeah, and so every time we hang out with her, it's like, oh fuck, it's so difficult to say her name because we don't want to insult her. She's so sweet.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like if you knew a dude named Chad. Like,
I'm pretty sure if he was named Chad,
you just know a black guy and he's just named the N-word, but he's never heard of it as a slur.
Well, his parents were huge fans of Lovecraft, so
yeah, they just really liked the cat.
No, they were fans.
Why are you so hesitant to say my name, friend? I am from Nigeria. What the?
No, I was thinking about that with the healthcare workers. It's like,
imagine growing up, right? You're a white kid and your friend is named that. And you just go, "Sup, nigga," and people around beat them up.
This is actually like a funny point in the movie Clerks too, because the one dude calls the other dude like a porch monkey.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and everybody gets pissed off at him, and he's like, "What? You're a porch monkey."
Well, the guy was white.
Yeah, he was white. And then like later on, he makes a shirt saying like, "We need to reclaim porch monkey."
Dude, I remember I didn't learn that monkey was a racial slur against black people until I was like 16 years old, and I found out in the worst way possible.
Oh no!
Please tell me this story.
Okay. I would like everyone to know, I'm not a racist gentleman, okay? I was just very ignorant at the time.
I'm not racist, but...
I'm not racist, but... No, I was in my high school football team, right? And this kid, I think, was, like, arguing with me or picking on me. I don't remember exactly what. But he was an African-American gentleman, right? And his skull was, like, shaped in, like, an elongated fashion that made his head look... And he was shaved, and his head kind of made him look like a gorilla. Like, other black people to me don't look like monkeys, but this man actually looked like a gorilla.
Oh,
I mean, that's
and
fucking
so
white people.
That as like an insult towards him, and I didn't realize that was a racially charged statement until someone explained it to me.
Jesus fuck.
No.
I saw this. There was this fucking bit. I don't remember by who, but it was this black comic who just catfished the KKK. And like he was trying to become a KKK member, and he always had this KKK guy meet him, and he never showed up. And this happened for like weeks. And then eventually he had a white friend of his go there, and he brought back some ribs. And then the ribs were so good, and he said, "Dude, you gotta join the KKK. I need more of these fucking ribs." Damn. Oh fuck. Well, I think this is a good time to finally draw the stream to a close. We are on the stream every week, but only 90 minutes schedule at this point in time. So
I see.
Shoot your meme loads or save them for like next week.
Yeah, I'm saving mine.
Yeah. Because there's just usually it's just the meme avalanche at the beginning and then nothing happens. Yeah, try and fix it.
We discussed fascism and war crimes for 30 minutes after that.
Much fun.
Yeah, I did enjoy the discussion of like weapons of mass destruction.
I feel like we didn't get into like I feel we didn't do it well, but we did do it. So that's pretty. I mean, no, it was good. It was good. It's just that it's been a while since we've had any kind of serious discussion on the stream. You know what I mean?
Next week when we talk about the Turner Diaries and the upcoming race war.
We'll do it more often.
Because like originally the reason I was thinking about war crimes is because I was thinking about like there's no reason for like a government to develop B and C weapons because of the storage risks that they pose. Because like at least with nuclear weapons, right? You can like it's not like it's a recreational mech nuke that comes with an easy instructional manual. Even if somebody steals the nuke, they won't know what to do with it. If you build like chemical weapons, they can just take a fucking canister of sarin gas and just do shit with it. That's a containment risk. And you have biological weapons, which might liberate themselves. Which is, I mean, obviously why those two specific kinds of weapons.
You have the material to make a dirty bomb though pretty easily. I think you can make dirty bombs pretty easily.
Also, one of the reasons, like a lot of the countries, like in the Middle East and things, will still use chemical weapons is because of cost, not because they're like mustache twirling supervillains.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah. Apparently, anthrax is incredibly difficult to kill.
But like I like how like the U.S. Air Force has proven that like how safe nuclear weapons can be by how many we lost in crashes, and how there's still a nuclear bomb somewhere in North Carolina, just somewhere in North Carolina. We don't know where it is.
Oh yeah. I think we were trying to get to a point to ending the stream though.
Yeah.
And then we got back into the nuclear.
It
we just can't stop talking about weapons of mass destruction.
All right, my fellas. I'm gonna see you around next week when we all pretend to be Italian. Imagine just like an Italian guy, and he just doesn't know about Italy. He just thinks that all Italian people come from New Jersey. Anyway, that's the stream. Thank you very much for watching. And see you around, cunts.
Das Vidania.
Have a good night, guys.